Whoa.
Big up, big up.
And we got a little bigger today. I'm Calvin. That guy somewhere in the middle is Garland. We the big dudes. Then we got the other dudes that got us a little bigger. We got our man Jason Scott, our other boy Jay Walls, part of the crew. We missing one of the crew.
Yeah,
D
the
was a little scared.
unofficial co-stars of the show, because
Unofficial co-stars.
when we
It's
be
the big Super
talking,
Bowl
we be like,
preview.
yeah, we always saw it like, yeah, we got a text group, the crew, and they were saying, and so yeah, y'all official. Or when I'm going too hard on statistics, I'm like, yeah, Jay said, don't talk about statistics. That's who I'm talking about, y'all. When the person tell me I'm giving too much numbers, it's
That's right. By the way,
and when you hear us talking about they should have thrown the ball to Bateman,
right?
that's Jason
It's
over
this
there.
other guy.
It's Jason over there.
Bateman's the first read.
Why they ain't throw the ball to Bateman? Well, they got a touchdown, yeah, but it'd have been easier had they thrown it to Bateman.
Yeah, y'all.
Hey, man, this is our big Super Bowl preview. We're going to talk a little Lamar. We're going to talk a lot of Super Bowl. But before we get into that, how things going with you, Garland?
Things are well, man. This has been a long time in the making, and so I'm glad that we can get our crew on. It is one more person, but he backed out. I don't know what's going on with
young boy,
young B, and so he backed out. But nonetheless, we got the grizzled veterans on here and everything, and it should be a good show, man. We actually have our own unofficial show in the chat line. We be going back and forth on things, and talking about a couple different things, and so hopefully this translates good into this broadcast. Because if not, then we know when y'all come back and we do this a couple more times, you just see me and Calvin, then it didn't really work.
Whenever you hear us say our unnamed sources or our sources, these are two of the sources.
Yeah.
And speaking of the sources, Jason, anything you want to tell the people about yourself or anything?
Nah, just casual. Not a casual, but I'm a big Baltimore sports fan. Been there for years, born and raised, and I look up to these vets. They get on me a lot, but I'm a big Bateman fan. They converted me to some of the Lamar isms that are going on these days. But I'm just I'm glad to be here. Just talk with these guys today.
I have never seen in my life the biggest Ravens fan, Lamar fan, hater ever in the history of the world. Listen, this guy loves Lamar, but will get on here if Lamar sneezes wrong. Why he got sneeze like that? Don't nobody else in the NFL sneeze like that. The MVP should not be sneezing like that. That's Jason. Hey, Jay.
He didn't see those five guys open. All right, go ahead.
I'm just Jay. I'm a big sports fan, big Baltimore sports fan. I always have an opinion, rather, right or wrong. I got an opinion. I had something to say. I'm the number one true fan of the Big Show.
Yes.
And I always got something to say. I listen to every show.
Go ahead. Jay is our producer. He always got notes for us. And so he always got notes for us.
That's
Garland, what you talking about? Someone's advocating for the Pro Bowl. That don't make no sense. And like, I gotta justify why I'm bringing up stuff to Jay. So Jay gives us notes on the show.
Jay hits you with his hand gestures too. Jay be like, I was hearing you and you was wrong.
Yeah, right.
So no, because see, we don't know what be going on in the clubhouse.
I'm trying to hold my hands down.
Like Garland, Eric B. and Rakim, that album was not the best album. I don't care what you said. Like, what?
By all means necessary. My philosophy.
Yeah, he's a big KRS-One fan.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, he's gonna be down soundstage at the end of the month. Did you get your ticket?
No, I don't be liking that standing. I don't like that standing room.
I can't.
I can't stand either.
Y'all see how old we are.
Y'all talk about them knee problems, man. Standing up for hours.
Yeah, I stood for Common and Pete Rock, and I felt it like for the next 2 days. And
But I
so,
might look into that though, Garner. I
yeah,
mean,
If
yeah,
it's for
uh,
if it's for
28th.
CIAA, let me know and I'll
Yeah, I think it's that weekend.
okay. Yeah,
It's
let
that
me know.
weekend.
I'll look into it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey,
All right, man.
we
Let's get
might as well
into it.
jump right into it.
All right,
Let's
man.
get it
Let's get
started.
into it. NFL awards. The NFL held its annual NFL Honor Show on Thursday in New Orleans, and they announced the following awards. Coach of the Year went to Kevin O'Connell in his third season with the Vikings. He led the Vikings this year to 14 victories. Comeback Player of the Year. I don't know how Joe Burrow got this award, but he was selected for the award. He rebounded from a season-ending wrist injury in 2023. Oh, poor Joe Burrow. But in
Right.
2024, the boy came back with a vengeance, almost threw for 5,000 yards for 1,918 yards and 43 touchdowns. He led the league in both categories. Defensive Rookie of the Year. I don't know this guy, Jared Verse. He's plays for the Rams. He led all rookies with 18 quarterback hits, 50 pressures. I'm sorry, Jay, you're gonna have to get these statistics. And his
Nah, you good.
4.5 sacks were
No,
fifth
these
among
these the
rookies.
statistics that matter.
All right, all right. Oh, my other statistics don't matter. All right, offensive rookie of the year, Jaden Daniels. He was the number 2 pick in last year's draft. He became the first rookie in league history to throw for more than 3,500 yards and rush for more than 800 yards in the season. The boy was bad. He pulled off some good stuff, led them to the NFC Championship. Defensive Player of the Year, Patrick Surtain, which I'm trying to scratch my head on this one. The second, he became the first cornerback in 5 years to win the award. He only gave up 2 touchdowns and 306 yards receiving during the season, and it was the fewest among corners with at least 50 targets. Offensive Player of the Year was Saquon Barkley. No problems there. He capped a remarkable first season in Philly by becoming the first Eagles player to win the award. He became the ninth player to rush for more than 2,000 yards and finished 100 yards shy of Eric Dickerson's all-time record. His 142 yards per game ranked fourth most over the past 15 seasons. And the award that probably has been scrutinized the last several days, and we're going to jump into this, most valuable player. And the biggest surprise on Thursday night, Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen overcame the prevailing trend to beat Baltimore Ravens Lamar Jackson for the Associated Press NFL Most Valuable Player Award. Allen is the first player in 21 seasons to win MVP without being selected first team All Pro. And so let me throw this out to the crew. Did Lamar get jerked? No Tucker.
Oh man, that's I like that, Garner.
You like that one? Thank you, sir. I warmed Jason up with that one. Did Lamar get jerked? No Tucker.
So you throwing it to?
Whoever wants to jump out. Did Lamar get jerked? I mean, now just to set it up, Lamar, we know, had a statistically better season than Allen. And what it appears is these are the same voters that voted for first team All Pro. The issue is, how can you vote for somebody to be first team All Pro and then they're not the MVP? If the person's the first team All Pro, then more than likely they should also be the MVP. And so you had a lot of the voters splitting their vote because they said that Allen was most valuable to his team, but yeah, Lamar was the best player.
Best player.
So they basically were splitting the baby. But I want to think, Cal, if you want to start them off, and then people can flow off of Cal. Go ahead, Cal.
Yeah. So the argument is way wrong. So I look at it from two ways. They first say that the year before Lamar didn't have the better statistics, but he did this year. So he shouldn't have won it the previous year. But okay, that's fine. But Lamar had historic numbers. It's a difference. Better numbers ain't the same as historic numbers. He had the fourth highest quarterback rating ever in the history of the league.
Right.
Threw for over 4,000, threw for over 40 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, and ran over 900 yards. That's historic. But I'm gonna give you the one where they say, "Oh well, Josh means more to his team than Lamar did." Well, if we're talking about most valuable to the team, then it should go to Saquon Barkley, because without Saquon, the Eagles ain't going nowhere because Jalen Hurts ain't carrying them. So they killing me with some of these arguments. Then they try to say that we looked at Josh's opponents and the people that he played. No, all the playoff teams that Josh played against, he lost to, except for the Chiefs in the regular season. He did beat them. He lost to them. So there's no good argument. But I will say this: I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn because I think we all in the same boat. Josh can have it. We need that Super Bowl. I need Lamar to be so angry about being snubbed this year and so angry about not making the AFC championship game that he sets the league on fire next year. So, yes, Lamar got jerked. He should have won, but I don't really care because I'm looking at bigger and better things.
Mm.
Uh,
Jay or Jason, go ahead,
Go
Jason.
ahead,
You can
Jason.
say something.
I agree with Calvin in part, especially with history. Anytime you look at history and you're going to attach the numbers that Lamar had this season, and then everybody always the Dan Marino. Oh, he was a great player. He had all these stats, but he never won the big one. And just like what Calvin was saying, with history, if you go down in history as doing something in the league, it has to be capsulated somehow, and the MVP would have done that for Lamar. Now it's just going to be an asterisk. Hey, he was the MVP, and then when we get about of the team, that's a team award. Like when the Baltimore Sun and these guys give out, yeah, the MVP of the Ravens, Lamar. Josh is the MVP of the Bills, not of the league, and that was shown by the first team All Pro. And I'm pretty sure if you go out and you look at all the you survey the players and ask them around the league, hey, who you think the MVP was? I think it would have been more of Saquon and Lamar, just like you said, Jay, because you take Saquon off of that team, they are night and day difference. You could say the same for Lamar, but
Sure.
I do think he got snubbed. And part of it is because if he had the Super Bowl, I think if he had won a Super Bowl somewhere along the line, I think he would have gotten this one just because that would have propelled him, to another stratosphere in the voters' thinking. So, and especially for him to get some fourth place votes, if I'm correct, where
Yeah,
they
he got
said he
one
got
fourth
four.
place vote.
I'm like, how do you are you even watching the games? How do you come up with this guy being the fourth best player in the league over that
Yeah.
time? And then the argument that he had nine All Pros or whatever he had
Yeah,
Pro Bowlers.
he nine Pro Bowlers.
Guess what?
You know
He
I fuck with the
elevated
Pro
those
Bowlers.
guys to Pro Bowlers. You put those guys on any other team, they're not Pro Bowlers.
Except for
So,
Derrick Henry. Except for Derrick Henry.
uh,
Zay
I
got a
mean,
Pro Bowl.
no, Zay,
I think he elevated Zay. I think he
yeah,
elevated.
thank you. He elevated Zay, and so does Todd Monken because they make it a concerted effort to get that guy the ball, which they should. But that's for another topic when we talk about my guy Bate.
Bateman.
But
Bateman's good.
but
Talking
no,
about for
I
today.
agree though with Cal on that is that, hey man, this guy had a historic season that's going to go down in the NFL records book as historic, but he's going to have the asterisk as he did not win the MVP, which is a shame. So.
Right.
Jet.
As much as I disagree with Jason on our personal text line, I
Mhm.
agree completely with him. On this, like, yeah, he got jerked. When you vote him fourth, so now you just trying to distance that first place vote with a fourth place vote because all that stuff tally up. Y'all know how it tallies or whatever. That's purposeful. Like, that's deliberate. That's not even okay. I believe Josh Allen is the MVP. I'm gonna vote him first. I vote Lamar second. Nah, now you are purposely um trying to devalue Lamar's vote with the fourth place vote. That's just, it's crazy. Like, I think after Josh Allen beat Kansas City, it was his MVP. Like,
Yeah.
damn near coming into the season, there was already a bias. Like, and I hate when you get these narratives, and that's why sometimes I don't even be watching these sports shows because they all get on the narrative and just keep rocking the same thing every week. So it didn't even matter what Lamar did. Lamar put up the numbers. All right. It didn't matter. They was gonna give it to Josh. Like, y'all pretty much covered it. But I'm with Calvin in the end. Man, we need the championship. We need the Super Bowl. So, MVP would have been cool, but come on. Come on, man. And this without, like you say, without the numbers, just watch the game. Like that's what I don't like. I don't like people. I be feeling like that's why once again I do a lot of the local sports because these national people don't even be watching the games. They come back, they look over the numbers and highlights, and then want to give you a summary of what happened in the game or what they think about a team, and they don't even know the team. Like it's crazy. So
Yeah, I was
Josh Allen got a third place vote, which I thought was crazy because Saquon didn't have a first place vote.
Right.
So how do you put Josh third? Like he's either going to be first or second, unless you throw on Saquon. But Saquon didn't get any first place. Excuse me, didn't get any first place votes. So who's the player that's better than Josh Allen? If it ain't Lamar, you know what I
More
mean?
than
Like,
likely they put Barrow up
Saquon.
there. More than likely
And
they put
yeah,
Barrow up there.
let's not go into that. I guess we can do that for the comeback player. Bro, be for real. Your team losing all the time. Yeah, you're gonna be throwing the ball around the yard like crazy.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
team shuts it down in the fourth quarter. No more stats.
yeah. Those that's cotton candy stats right there.
Yeah,
Because
that's why
Khalil was
numbers
behind
be
in every game. They
numbers
couldn't run
that's
the
what I'm
ball.
saying.
deceiving.
Only thing you coming back from is the score because your ass is losing in the
Right.
fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the
Right.
award. Y'all
Yeah.
know how I feel about comeback player of the year. Even the second year in a row, DeMar Hamlin is now
He
a
can't get
starting
He
safety.
He not gonna get it,
He
Calvin.
is starting.
He not gonna get
He
it.
is a starting safety.
gonna get
He died on the field.
That's not
You
enough.
don't get more comeback than that.
That's not enough.
Listen. If you don't, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let this ride here. This is gonna be my last argument. And I told you last year, if you don't think DeMar Hamlin should be comeback player of the year, then you don't believe in Easter, because the man rose. He rose.
That's the
That's
shit.
all I'm gonna say.
Don't do Jesus like that.
That comparison is over the top, but
He died on the field.
I would
bro.
say this just to bring a close to the Lamar being tuckered. Yeah, man, they keep just to me. People saying, well, he meant more to the team, Allen, or he didn't play with many Pro Bowlers, and so I guess Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, Tom Brady, they never should have won MVPs either because they played with Hall of Famers, they played with All Pros. Lamar, as you said, Jason, he elevated the play of those people on the team. He elevated Henry's play. We saw that game against the Steelers where they're trying so hard to stop Lamar. Henry's just running up the field untouched. How he was influencing how defenses were covering that team. And so now we're penalizing him because he has good players on the team. Blame Eric DeCosta. That's his fault that they got good players on the team. And so to me, it's just like, look, just be honest. If y'all try to, maybe this was a DEI award, be honest, yo. Just go ahead. Like you said, Jay, the narrative from the beginning of the season was y'all wanted to give it to Allen. That's all y'all have been talking about from the beginning of the season. If that was the narrative, go ahead and do it. This narrative, right, to me, it devalues Allen's MVP because obviously they didn't think you were the best player in the league. They just thought your narrative was better. That's all. They just thought your narrative was good, and that's why they gave you the award. Like they gave it to Steve Nash when they should have gave it to Kobe.
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 They gave it to other players when they should have gave it to Barry Bonds. And so it's the narrative. And so you got a narrative award, Josh Allen. You wasn't really the best player. You were the person who had the most sympathy among writers and voters, and they wanted to see you get it.
Ask defensive coordinators who they prepare for more, Lamar or Josh Allen, and I guarantee you it's going to be Lamar.
Right.
I agree. I was just going to go back and we talk about history and Jay and Calvin was talking about numbers. I think what Lamar set the fourth quarter of 4 games. Imagine, like you said, if we went to the Joe Burrow and he had to throw the thing around the yard or he had to run and rush, man, his numbers were already better than Josh. He would have obliterated Josh with those numbers. So again, he got snubbed. I mean, it's voter fatigue, no
Voter
code
fatigue
switching,
as well.
Lamar,
Yeah.
all that stuff, which I don't
Mhm.
believe. But yeah, I'm with Calvin. Until he wins the Super Bowl, there's nothing else for him really to prove to any of the local sports fans,
He should
because
have been
that is our narrative.
he should have been unanimous MVP 2 times, but the second time, some dummy won. He didn't get one MVP vote last year, one first place MVP vote. He got the unanimous the first time.
And
Last year, there was one
Mhm.
voter that didn't vote for
And
him.
that's the guy who voted him number 4 this year, I
Right.
bet.
Probably,
And I
probably
trust
same
what the
hater.
former quarterback
Acho,
said.
Emmanuel Acho, we looking at you,
Right.
Acho.
Don't worry
Oh
about him.
boy.
I trust what the quarterback say. I trust what Brady said. I trust what Manning said. Lamar was an MVP this year. That's all we needed to know. If you got two goats that basically are like, it's all about Lamar. That's it. That's all we need. That's all we need. Go ahead, Calvin. Club level. Lead us on the next topic.
Let's
That
let's
boy
jump
be
into
doing it big.
Yeah, club level Cal.
y'all something else. Let's jump into the Super Bowl real quick, so we know we got Super Bowl week coming up.
Mhm.
Ain't
Real
nobody
quick,
care about the
because
Super
we talk about
Come on,
we've
man.
talked
This is a
about
Super Bowl show. You had to care about the Super Bowl.
we talked about the NBA All Stars. We talked about MLB All Star. We even talked about NFL All Star. Does anybody care outside of the teams, the team fans that are there? Does anybody care about Super Bowl week? Do you
That's a good
care about
question.
media week? Do you care about anything else that goes on outside of the game?
Go ahead, Jay.
No. And I'm
That's
so
honest.
last year was the y'all Super Bowl shows, the only show I hadn't listened to. I still ain't listened to it.
It wasn't nothing to listen to.
Yeah, because I thought I was just so dejected after we lost.
Yeah.
This year, I'm messed up, but not like I was last year. Whereas I watched the AFC, NFC. I watched the championship games.
Mhm.
I will watch the Super Bowl. I watched nothing leading up to it.
Right.
Um, but one thing I said to myself, I don't want to allow my Ravens love to overshadow my love of football as a whole. Like you say, it's Super Bowl, man. Everybody get up for the Super Bowl. But man, when you we supposed to be in it. Like this, these
Yeah.
last 2 years, man, it's been rough. So no, I don't really care. I think the rest of the world you may have teams like cities like Detroit who
Mhm.
thought this was their year. They might not care. Baltimore. I don't even know about Buffalo. Maybe Buffalo. Um, but yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
Washington.
rough.
They don't care.
Right. It's
No, I
rough.
mean they don't care. Whereas they ain't think they was getting that far,
Oh,
so
okay.
they probably ain't that disappointed. They was
Right.
happy to be there. Congrats to them though. They did get there. But go ahead. I'm
Yeah,
done.
it's rough. It's rough because I have to. Yeah, I'm gonna watch the game because I am a fan. I'll probably be passively watching, probably be on my phone more than anything, texting and whatever. Talking about the commercials or whatever, or whatever happens in our chat line or the couple others that I got running. But yeah, I find myself now more and more getting detached from the week leading up to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And maybe it's because it's 2 weeks now, break in between. Used to be a week, they play the AFC or an NFC championship, and then the next week was Super Bowl. The last several years, it's been a 2 week window between that. And so sometimes it's just like, do I want to just go through seeing all of this stuff, all of this analysis, all the way up to the game? Because, like you said earlier, Jay, sometimes it's just overwhelming. People just talking, they making up stuff now, and all of this stuff they saying, and I just want to see the game played. And so that part of it, I don't necessarily love. I would love that they go back to eliminate the Pro Bowl or play it after the Super Bowl, go back to the old format of go to the Super Bowl the next week, because to me it keeps you a little bit more engaged if that's not your home
Let
team.
me interrupt you there, Garland.
Mhm.
I don't. I remember it being 2 weeks for the longest.
Yeah, I thought it was
Like
always
it's
2 weeks.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't
2 weeks.
always 2 weeks. It's been like
We might gotta go back and look at the
yeah,
numbers
go
on
back
that.
and look at it. They just started doing this 2 weeks probably over the last 5 or 6 years because they put the Pro Bowl in between the game.
No,
And
it's been longer
remember the
than that.
Pro. Mm-mm.
Yeah. This is
I,
one of them
don't
times
play
I
with
would.
me.
This one of them times I
Don't
would
make me
text
go look
y'all
it
and be
up.
like,
I'm gonna go
"Yo, I
look it
did."
up. But normally it's been the week after, and then the Pro Bowl. Remember, they moved the Pro Bowl, put the Pro Bowl in between the AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl, and because it used to be after the Super Bowl. And so
In
they
Hawaii.
figured they would move it up because they wanted to get more player participation and build it up as a 2 week thing. But this is they've only done that maybe the last maybe 5 to 7 years.
I
No, I think
disagree, homeboy.
so. I think I you could be right, but I think the only thing they changed was when they moved it up, they disqualified the Super Bowl
Super Bowl
team
teams.
Yeah,
players from being
then the
in the
players
Pro
didn't have
Bowl.
to do it, but
But no, I think it's always been 2 weeks because they give them time for the media to set up, and they give them time to rest and get any players possibly healthy that may not have been healthy. But you might be right. You might be right. So I don't want to.
all right,
Um,
y'all keep on talking because I'm looking it up.
hey,
Jay,
hey,
do you
Jay,
care
he get
about
ready to come out.
Yo,
He get ready to come out with the stat. Like, nah, this is.
You know how I do. I'm gonna get the stat.
I
Uh,
think you should. I think you need to get this stat on that.
yeah,
I'm gonna get
But
the stat.
it's
I'm a
cool.
fan. I'm a fan of the 2 week break, and it
Mhm.
especially if it was the Ravens in there, and if we were unhealthy, this gives you a chance for your team to heal because this is the showcase for the NFL. So
Right.
you want everybody to be healthy. Like Jalen Carter's been sick all this week.
Right.
Imagine if he would
Me
have played
too.
last week sick. Man, that would have been the headline. Oh, Jalen Carter wasn't 100%. He's going through the flu. He had this Willis Reed, Michael Jordan type game and dominated the KC's line. But I like it. I think the NFL can market it more towards the kids, which I think they are doing now with the 7-on-7 because now the young kids they don't need to market it to
Good
folks
point.
like us, the diehard. We already locked in. They're doing it for the young kids who get to see Chase and Jefferson with their helmets off, with the gold studs in their mouth, with the chains hanging. That's what's selling to the next generation down from us. So as far as the old grizzle guys, yeah, it kind of wears on us. But as a fan of the NFL, I like it because it gives the team a chance to get healthy, so that you can have the best product out there. And from a coach's standpoint, I like it for the Kansas City coaches because I think they're the best coaches in the NFL. You giving Spags and Andy Reid 2 weeks to come up with a game plan to one beat you, and then Spags 2 weeks to find a way to stop all the weapons that Philly has. So I like it. I look at the their little competitions with the quarterback. I didn't watch the actual game, but some of those little competitions they were fun to watch. I was sitting there, yeah, that's fun, especially with little kids who I know that still play the game. So I'm a fan of it from that aspect of it.
Yeah, that's a good point. We talked about that a couple weeks ago when we were talking about all-star games. I mentioned that to Garland. I said, when we talk about all-star games and how we don't like it, especially baseball, it's for the kids. It's for the kids to actually see the players up close. They can get autographs. They can participate in those little games. So yeah, that's a good point. And I was looking more at it like the media access. Like I don't care about all those interviews,
Yeah.
but even with the interviews, they got Nickelodeon there now. They get the kids in there interviewing. So yeah, that's a good point. I definitely get that. You find anything, Garland? I see you deep searching.
You know what? It's been a 2 week gap. Uh, Sometimes it hasn't been, and sometimes there has been, and so it's been sporadic, but it hasn't been consistent. And so since about 9/11, the information I found that they did a 2 week gap there, but and so it's
Okay.
been
I was.
on
I
and off,
was.
but yeah.
I was
I know.
sneaking too.
I know it
Um,
wasn't 5 or 6 years.
it
That's
was
I.
like no.
Yeah,
It's
it's
always.
been a
It's
little bit
been
longer.
2 weeks. What they were saying a lot was when was it start being played in February. And
Right.
because when they put that week 17 in, that extended it. 9/11 extended it, but
Mhm.
it's still always been 2 weeks.
Okay.
It just extended it into February. That's why it seemed like it's something new. But the 17 game schedule, so now when teams start getting buys. Cause remember,
That's
16 games, ain't nobody getting no buy. You
right.
just play. So once they put in 17, that came with a bye for everybody. So that pushed it out another week. So which made it in February instead of
Mhm.
the end of January or that first
That's the
weekend
answer.
in whatchamacallit. But it's been 2 weeks.
Hmm. Yeah, that's the answer. Is that they were trying to keep it out of February, then it got extended into February, and so they cut it because they didn't want to have a
But
bye
now they
week.
try to do
It's
week
going to February.
18.
They
Yeah,
The
That
trying.
just
Super
means
Bowl can ready be in March.
no. That means we just
Huh?
gonna get Super Bowl weekend during President's Day, so Monday could be a federal
right.
holiday. Most
You
of
Be
know,
them
a
just
they've been
not go back
talking
holiday.
to
about
work.
having
Right.
a holiday after the
Yeah.
Super Bowl
Yeah.
anyway. That Monday should
That's
be
what that
off, and
18
so.
game season is going to do. Pushes right
Hmm.
to President's Day weekend.
Right, right.
Right.
Let me move on to the next question.
Hmm.
The Philadelphia Eagles, they've been to two of the last three Super Bowls. They've actually been to recently they've been to three, winning one of them, losing one. Um are the Eagles potentially, especially if they win Sunday, are they potentially building a dynasty in Philadelphia? Jason?
Yes and no. And it with the Super Bowl runs, yes, it will be a dynasty. However, they haven't dominated the NFC. They've always been just good enough to get there. The year they went to the Super Bowls, those 2 years, I think only once where they did 1 or 2 seed, and everything else they kind of just went under the radar and got hot at the right time and won. So it's hard to say because when I think of dynasties, I think of unfortunately the Patriots and now the current day Chiefs. They just win. It's just constantly win, 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 win. When they step on the field, you know you have to bring your A game to beat them, and that's sustainable over seasons, not just 1 or 2 seasons. Like last year, they were I don't know. The FCC may fine us for some of the words I want to say, but they were just out in the streets. They were horrible last year, and it could have been an internal conflict between head coach and quarterback, or it could have just been with the changes of all the coaches. Which I mean, that happens to the best of them. But I wouldn't say they're a dynasty, but hey, they kind of like the Giants. They got on one heck of a roll to win some Super
Sure,
Bowls if they win some. That's how I look at it.
I
Jay?
agree with that.
Dynasty, it doesn't look like a dynasty. Um, but probably if you look back 20 years from now, it might be like, man, Philly was, they was the shit. Um, were the Vikings a dynasty? 4 L's. Were the Bills a dynasty? 4 L's.
Yeah, that's
Um,
right. I forgot all
so
about
I
them
don't
Bills.
really dynasty, but I would absolutely take that consistency. Except like you say, Jason said last year they just fell off last year. I don't say I don't know what happened, and then I don't know. They don't have the NFL like the mark and them quarterbacks. They don't have that. They don't have that. It seemed like they wanted to do that with Jalen Hurts when they went that first time when he
First,
went. They
hmm.
lost. Um, but then it's like his game kind of just fell off. So they don't have that, now they got Saquon. They don't like that's not sexy enough for all the talking heads, So dynasty, but man, I take that consistent because that's all we've been doing. We just been consistent, and then we get the L's in the playoffs. Like, and Baltimore, we're a good organization, well-run organization. They first class, this and that, which from outside looking in, it appears to be that way. But dynasty, that's no, no,
Darling?
no.
Darling?
Yeah, I love what you said. As a matter of fact, you took my point, Jay, because I was going to say this. They remind me of the run the Ravens made when they drafted Flacco and Rice, and they had those 5 years where
Uh-huh.
two AFC championship appearances, one AFC championship win, and a Super Bowl, and they won at least the first playoff game every year. Um, yeah, that's what they remind me of. I wouldn't say that was a dynasty. I would just say that was a very good team. It was well drafted. They had some good veterans. They had some good rookies to accent what they were doing. And so that's how I look at it. I agree, Jay, that they got to win a Super Bowl. If they win a Super Bowl, they win this one, then I start saying, okay, yeah, we can start talking a little dynastic because they've had some good winning culture. I put them up there with the elite teams, the Ravens, the Steelers, the Chiefs, those elite organizations, even the Niners, those elite
Yeah.
organizations that are always in the mix every year. They're always, striving for a championship. They have the best players. They have good coaching. They're always in the mix. And so I would put them there, but they're not dynastic yet.
I think we
Right.
so when we look at dynasties, we think about the teams like the Cowboys with Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin,
Right.
and Smith.
Triplets.
We think about the 49ers, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice. We think about teams like that, and of course the Patriots. So I can agree, but I will say if they win, if they beat the Kansas City Chiefs, when you dethrone the big boy of the NFL right now, and that gives you two Super Bowls in a row. You win in one, and you're going back into next season with pretty much the same personnel, a young defense, and a good offensive line. I think they could be on the cusp of one. They would have to go to a third Super Bowl, but I think they would be on the cusp of one. Speaking of that,
Hold up, Cal. I
Uh,
got real quick. How can like they won? I forget the year they won with the other quarterback, the
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
with
So
folks,
then they
With folks.
well,
Yeah, folks.
Foles.
Yeah.
So then they went with Jalen Hurts, and now they back again.
Mhm.
Thumbs up. But how can they be a dynasty when we're in the midst of the Kansas City dynasty? You can't have two dynasties at one time.
You
That
sure?
defies dynasty.
sure you
Well,
can. Yeah,
you
How?
can.
look
You
at
absolutely
look
can.
at the
Cowboys,
70s. Yeah, look at the 70s. You had
The Cowboys and
you,
49ers overlap their
you had
dynasty.
Steelers, Cowboys, you had Raiders, you had
No, you had good
Dolphins.
teams, but were they dynasties?
The 49ers and the Cowboys back in the 90s were both definitely dynasties.
Yeah.
Niners
I,
won. Niners won one.
Well, they're coming off a
They won
dynasty
one.
from the 80s to I
No,
still
the
maybe
dynasty was the Cowboys. The Niners won one when Dion prime time, not subprime.
switch.
subprime.
When
Subprime.
Dion went
Oh,
there,
that's
he
right.
was the key.
Subprime is the coach. Prime
He was
time is the
he was
player.
he was the plug. When he went, they won one.
So
All
when
right,
was the
this is a
Niners
better
dynasty?
example. This is a better example. Cowboy Steelers in the 70s. Two dynasty teams.
Cowboys won 2 in 5 years. I mean, they
Yeah.
won
And
two.
the
Not
Steelers
in
won
five,
four.
not in 5 years. It wasn't 5 years, but they lost a lot. Because back then I was a Cowboy
But
fan.
they were every Super Bowl was it was
And
either Dallas or Pittsburgh, or was Dallas and Pittsburgh playing each other.
they had the court. They won 1, 2. Pittsburgh won
Oh
4.
God, let me do some more research. Go ahead.
I'm
Let's
sorry.
Google.
And
Let's
the
Google.
Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2017.
So that was their last one.
Yeah, that was
And
the
then they
last one.
went, and then they
That's their
been,
that's
and
their
then they went.
only. That's their
Yeah,
only.
that's their only one. And then
Yeah,
they
so-
went again, what, 2 years ago? Prior
No,
to
last-
this time?
Yeah.
No, they
Yeah,
didn't
2
go
years
last
ago,
year.
not
2
last
They
years
go
ago.
year,
Yeah,
2
yeah.
years ago.
Okay. And that was that epic game between the Chiefs and
I mean,
and
y'all might be right. I just don't see two dynasties at once.
I
That's
could
all.
I could say they're on the cusp of one. But they got to win this one. They got to win. If they don't win, then
And
call
then
it
they
very
keep
good.
going. Maybe they keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah,
Man,
yeah.
we talking about a three-peat almost with
Which
KC. That be
takes me to my
And-
next question. I'm thank you for that segue, Jason. You a
That's what
natural.
I do.
he the producer. That's the producer right
That's
there.
the producer. He had the notes.
We know Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowl rings. Patrick Mahomes has 3, and he's going for his third.
Four.
If he,
Fourth.
I'm sorry, he's going for his 4th. If he wins this Super Bowl, does Patrick Mahomes take over Tom Brady as the greatest quarterback ever? And let me answer first. I absolutely think he does. I think he's better than Brady now. I've said for the past couple years, he just needs a little more time to add a little more to his resume. I think 4 Super Bowl rings, especially winning 3 in a row, puts him above Brady. I'll leave it at that. Garland, what you got?
I mean, is that even a question? I mean, he's the GOAT. He's the greatest
People
quarterback.
go by rings. People go by rings.
Okay, so what's the question again?
If Patrick Mahomes wins the Super Bowl,
Uh-huh.
does that make him better than Tom Brady? In your opinion, does that make him the GOAT,
Ooh.
the the quarterback GOAT?
You know, it's crazy.
Garland looking like you
They,
just heard the question the first time.
I was doing some research. I actually was writing and I didn't hear it clearly. Um, you know, I'm researching, and so they both have Super Bowl losses, and so because Brady they lost to the Eagles. I think yeah,
Brady's lost to
Casey
people.
don't have no Super Bowl losses.
yes,
Who
they
They
does?
lost.
they
They
lost to
lost
they
to
Brady?
lost to
Brady.
Brady. They
They
lost to
lost to Brady.
the
Oh,
Buccaneers,
yeah.
and so yeah, they both have Super Bowl losses.
So they,
Yes, I would say yeah. Yes, he goes in that category. I would say yes. I think someone said it the other day, and I kind of agree with it. The reason why it's hard for Lamar and Allen and Burrow to get to a Super Bowl, even though Burrow got there once through Mahomes, is they have to go through Kansas City. They have to go through Mahomes.
right.
And when Mahomes gets in those high pressure games, he delivers. He doesn't turn the ball over a lot. He puts his team in position to win, and he's a winner. I mean, he's a winner. And he's only lost one AFC championship game. Well,
Uh,
two.
Jay, does it make him better?
Um, no. Um, I think he's physically better. I think so many quarterbacks that came through the pipeline physically better than Brady.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But it's hard to say with somebody that has that and I'm not a rings say it all, but they do gotta count. And I'm old enough to remember them early Patriots Super Bowls weren't built around Brady. And then they went 9 years without winning. This Pat Mahomes, like y'all corrected me, they did lose one. He had no offense. The offensive line
Offensive
was
line.
beat up.
And
But
he lost that one to Brady.
this is their fifth Super Bowl. That's crazy. And like, what's his 6th year? Oh no, he been there more than 6.
No.
But like, this might be his 7th year. Like, because he set that first year, and this is
Right.
5th. Like,
But Brady went to at least 10 because he lost 2 to the Giants and
to the
1 to the
Giants.
Eagles. And
Yeah.
he had a 28-3 comeback against Atlanta.
Man, that was
Brady,
rigged.
just go ahead, Jason. It's hard
No,
to go. Brady.
I just said that was rigged, that 28 point comeback. But y'all talk about how Pat get all the calls, man. That joker was rigged for those. But I think he will be. And we talk about history. This dude will be the driving machine behind something that's never been done in NFL history. 3 Super Bowls winning back to back, and he will be the MVP if they win this joker.
Do you think does it make him better than Brady
Yes.
right now?
Yeah.
Yes, because of what he's done for history.
Okay.
Okay.
Tom had longevity. Pat is capturing this in a bottle. You look at it like he's been if Lamar's done this, if Lamar has been in 5 Super Bowls, 4 Super Bowls in the last 5 years, man, Baltimore will go crazy. You all will be
Greatest ever.
ever.
Right.
He will be the greatest ever.
Right.
And Mahomes is the driving factor behind that. Yes, he has Kelsey. He's never really had a run game. He elevates all his receivers because when Cheetah left, he made everybody else around him.
We thought it was over when Cheetah left.
Exactly, and they
Thought it
still
was
won.
over.
And he
I
still
know.
won. This
I
dude
did.
is
Right.
this dude is getting ready to make if they win, it will be history. And we just talked about history with Lamar. This guy will have won 3 Super Bowls in a row. He would have been the
It would be 3 in a
only
row if he wins this year.
right. He would be
Oh,
that would be the only team that has ever done it in the existence of the NFL. And who's the driving machine behind that? Pat.
Mahomes.
And
Yeah,
he has to be. He will have 4 rings and he won't be even 30. Tom is longevity. Like Jay said, it was a span where they didn't go. This dude is doing it. He's got lightning in a bottle right now. He's been we talk about consistency. This is why he's the dynasty. It's been a model of consistency. They said he couldn't win on the road. He went and won in 2 places that he couldn't win in the road, and then they won the Super Bowl convincingly. So
Right.
I do. I'm an undercover Mahomes fan because just of some of the things he can do as a football player. He's not Lamar. Like some of the things Lamar does is just like jaw dropping. But Mahomes, he was the one that started the no look passes, the sidearm deliveries. Oh, look at this shovel pass, and now it's catching on. When he was doing it, that was Andy Reid's creative, but Andy Reid knew what he had with this guy. So I say just in the span, when you go back and look at it in history, what this guy has done in a 4 to 5 year period, any quarterback would tell you, outside of Jim Kelly making 4 straight Super Bowls and not winning with Buffalo, I don't think anybody in the NFL has done what this dude has done, and on the cusp of possibly winning 3 in a row, being the captain of that ship.
Let me jump in real quick and say something, Calvin. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that also he's got the best coach. It's funny how when Brady had his run, he had Belichick. Now that Mahomes having this run, he has Reid, the best quarterback, the best coach. It all matches up, and so I agree with that. He definitely in there. Real quick on the '70s dynasties. Cowboys went to 5 Super Bowls in the 1970s. They won 2 of them. Steelers went to 3. They won all 3. And the Dolphins went to 3 and they won 2.
Let me say this on the Mahomes versus Brady thing. Us Baltimore fans have a great perspective from this because the reason that the Flacco, Ray Lewis led Baltimore Ravens didn't win a lot of AFC championships were the Tom Brady led Patriots. The reason that the Ravens aren't doing what they should be doing now is because of the Patrick Mahomes led Kansas City Chiefs. One of the things we also look at is, in my opinion, we do forget that Brady eviscerated our defense. That's when Baltimore was defensively just the juggernaut of the NFL, just every year. But I will say we are starting to look at a guy that is in Jordan level and is making Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson, Charles Barkley, John Stockton, and any other NBA player that did not win a ring because of Michael Jordan. I would say Hakeem Olajuwon, but they snuck in too when Jordan decided that he wanted to play baseball. So, anyway, you got some things for the crew before we get to our predictions and close out, Garland.
All right, let's go ahead. We're going to do some prop bets real quick. And so, in your opinion, the coin toss, is it going to be heads or tails? Calvin, it's a coin toss. It's going to land heads or tails.
So I've always lost the coin tosses when we did it in softball to see who become the home team. So, but I'm gonna say tails never fails.
All right, tails never fails. Jay,
So I go against Calvin and go heads
heads.
because
All
he
right.
always lose.
Jason,
I'm the same. I'm going with Jay. If I ever call a coin toss, I'm always calling head. So
I'm gonna support my co-host. I'm gonna go ahead and go tails as well. All right,
Big boys gotta stick together.
Yeah, big boys gotta stick together. Who's gonna win the toss? Who's gonna win the toss? Jason, the Eagles or the Chiefs?
who's the home team? Who's
The home
designated the home
team.
team? Is it the white for KC?
No, Eagles are because they're wearing the green uniform. They had the choice of wearing the home jersey, and so they chose their home.
How they
green.
get to be the home team?
It's in the NFC city.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
That's
I
how
didn't.
they
I
do
never
know
knew
that.
that. I
Yeah,
never
I
knew
thought it
that.
was the
You
best
learn
record.
I
something,
thought it was record.
Garland.
Yeah, I thought it was best record. But go ahead, go.
It might be best record.
Learn something every day. If it's best record, then
It
it's the
sounded
Chiefs.
right, though,
Kansas
didn't it,
City.
Jay? It sounded right. It
If it's
sounded
best
right.
record, then it's the
You said
Chiefs,
it
right?
convincingly.
Yeah,
If
I
it's
think
best
so.
record, it's the Chiefs. But no, the Eagles chose the green color, so I'm assuming that it's because it's in the NFC city.
Okay. We'll go with that.
All right.
Yeah. So the question was, who's going to win the
Who's gonna
toss?
win the toss? Eagles or the Chiefs? The Eagles are wearing the home team color, and so they got the choice. So it can't be record. It must be city.
So it's going to. I think KC will win the
Okay.
toss.
All right. Okay. All right. Jay.
I think the Eagles gonna win the toss, and they gonna take the ball
All
to
right.
try to start it off with a score and set the
Mm,
tone.
Okay.
Yeah, you sound like Matt Hasselback over there when he won
Right.
the toss in
We're
overtime and
gonna
was
win
going
and
to win the
score.
game.
All right. We're gonna win
And
the
it
game.
didn't work out that way for him. Um,
exactly.
Who
I
you
think the
taking?
Chiefs. I think the
Chiefs?
Chiefs winning the toss because they win every fucking thing else. Why not just win the toss?
Right.
Right.
Right. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Chiefs as well. National anthem. Now, John Baptiste, who used to be the music director on the Late Show, he's left there. He's doing his old solo thing. He's won a couple Grammys. Um, do you think he's going to sing the national anthem in under 120 seconds? People get on here, they get a little long with the national anthem. They be curving and running and all that stuff. Uh, you think he's going to finish in 120 seconds? Underneath 120
I need
seconds.
to
That's
know
basically 2
is he
minutes.
white or black?
He's
He's
black.
black.
Is that
Over
the little skinny
120 seconds.
dude?
Yes, he's a
Hmm.
little skinny dude from New Orleans.
Hmm.
Over if he black over and he from New Orleans? Oh,
Hmm.
Yes.
over 120 seconds. Black. Because we gotta get the
Right.
and then we got pause.
Right.
Nah, I'm
Over
with you.
or under 120?
I say over
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know if you. Yeah, he a little extra. Yeah,
Right.
he one of them type dudes.
Jason?
I think if he's allowed to have his band out there, it's going to be over 120. Like Jay,
Oh
because he's
man,
extra.
He
So
gonna
if he
be
has
our
his
whole
band out there,
yeah.
he's going. Oh, he has a little band that he performs with. So
Yeah,
if
he
he
has a
has
little
his band,
band. Yeah.
out there, it's going to be over 120. But I think if it's just him with some pre-recorded music, he may just be slightly under that. I give him about two. I give him about yeah, he'd probably be about the 230 mark instead of the
Oh, okay. All
120.
right. All right.
He'd be about 180. He'd probably be about
180.
180.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm with you as well. Black person, national anthem, national TV. They're gonna go over. Who's
Fun fact, real quick, fun fact I just learned about the national anthem. Some years ago, Garth Brooks, they didn't play his commercial. The NFL said they weren't going to play his commercial. So right before the national anthem, he walked out. And they found John Bon Jovi and they had pegged him to replace him, but they played the commercial, so Garth Brooks came back in. Because of that, they always pre-record a national anthem just in case this happens. So if something were to happen with this guy Baptiste, he didn't want to do it, or it's already been pre-recorded, so they'll just play it so that way they don't have to change artists or pay somebody else to do it.
Oh, okay.
So are you telling me the Whitney one wasn't live?
No, that wasn't live. That was tape.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, y'all just
Yeah, that was
Was
tape.
y'all crush me.
Was Whitney? I thought Whitney's was live. They're
Hold
always
up.
going to be.
No.
They're
So-
always going to be live, but in case the person performing
But-
doesn't or can't perform for whatever reason, it's already been taped. So they
Okay,
have
this
that
is
as
this is
backup.
why I do the thing that I do. That don't make no sense because if you back out and you don't want to do it, so what they gonna just sit there and just play your song
Your
and you not
contract.
there?
Remember, this is all a
All right.
contract.
Let me
and they
say
I
this
know,
about let me say
But
this
no,
about
but you
Whitney
not
Houston.
there.
Let me say this quick about Whitney Houston. She sang live on the field, but the version that we heard at home on the broadcast was pre-recorded.
Okay.
All right. And determining home team, it alternates each year. So last year, the Chiefs, the AFC, were the representative that had the home field advantage. This year is the NFC.
Okay.
All right.
So
All
we
right.
doing fact checking now?
Yes, sir. I'm,
No,
I'm,
no,
I'm himbo too.
I'm not criticizing. I got one for you.
What?
Many
Go ahead.
times the Super Bowl was played the week right after the conference championship games, but
You've been looking
starting
good.
with the 2004 Super
Yes.
Bowl,
Yes.
the NFL decided to make the 2-week hiatus permanent.
Yes.
2004.
2004. So I was way off.
2004.
20
So it's been
years.
20
Ooh.
years.
No, but you were right because I wouldn't have thought. I would have thought even
it
back
used to
then
be.
it was still 2 weeks.
No, it was.
I would have
So-
said back in the 90s or something. I
Right.
would have said back in the 90s or something.
Thank you, sir, for verifying that I ain't
No,
crazy. I remember that.
my lady, she texted me.
Oh,
that.
okay.
She
Hold
Hey.
on, hold on.
That's right.
Hold on.
Yes.
You got producers. You came with a whole
Yes.
crew.
That's what I do. I bring people.
Katina.
This is what I bring to the show.
Associate producer. You gonna get Katina up?
No, that's what happens when they engage. See, we married now, so our wives, I'll be like, I'm going to record. She'd be like,
Right,
go ahead,
Go do your little thing.
I'm going to the store.
That's what Paula told me. She said, make sure you're done by this time. I should be needing help with the groceries. By the time I get back, go do your little thing with Calvin.
Mine don't even like sports.
Look at that. Look at shout out to Lanier. Way to do the fact
Thank
checking
you.
and send it out. Katina, wait until I see.
Right. All right, who's gonna score the first touchdown?
Team or person?
Let's say person. Jason.
The first touchdown.
You said touchdown or score?
First touchdown.
Okay.
What player is going to score the first touchdown?
I think it's going to be Xavier Worley.
Worthy. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Are they going to show his moms?
Ooh.
Boy, you know, oh, people's gonna watch this. I can't say what I'm gonna say, but I hope they do.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Let
I
him
know
score as
mine
many
watching,
times.
but I was thinking the same thing.
Hey,
Ooh.
let him score and make plays as much as Kelsey does, so they paying to her as much as they do Taylor.
Right. They keep showing Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right. Jason, Jay, who's gonna score the first touchdown?
I'm gonna say the Eagles, Saquon, as a former running back
Okay.
myself. You know.
All right. So you used
Gotta
to tote
stick
that
with
rock
them.
back in the day. Cal?
I'm gonna say the Eagles,
Yeah.
but they're gonna be expecting Saquon to score, but it's gonna be AJ Brown. AJ Brown gonna get some work this game.
All right. I'm gonna go with Old Faithful, Travis Kelsey.
Kelsey.
So get ready to see Taylor Swift. All right. Now I don't know if y'all Kendrick Lamar fans or not, but what song do you think he's gonna open up his show with at halftime? Do you know any Kendrick Lamar songs?
I do.
Okay.
I'm torn between All Star and Humble, but if I had to put money on it, he won't do All Star because it's going to be too early to bring SZA out. So I'm gonna go with Humble.
Humble. All right. I am a fan. I was gonna say, "Bitch, don't kill my vibe," but this is national TV. I think he come out with whacked out murals.
I don't know enough Kendrick songs.
All right, that's fine. We'll let you. We'll let you skip on that. Calvin, do you know any Kendrick songs?
Yeah, I know some Kendrick songs. Not too many. If you remember CIAA last year, I got all them questions wrong. And
right.
But I still won the grill.
You still got a grill.
I still got a big ass grill. But anyway, y'all, Garland and Jason, y'all missing the boat. This is about the now. He might perform Humble. He might perform some of them older songs, but he coming out to squabble up. Then he going to hit Not Like Us, and then he going to go with SZA. Y'all missing squabble up. Dance with the music. Yo, he coming out to squabble up.
What's the song he did for the Black Panther soundtrack?
Oh my God, I'm trying to think. Is it? It's not Euphoria, is it?
Was that the one with SZA?
No.
Yeah. All Star is the one with SZA. Yeah.
Oh, it is. I thought.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm thinking about the Luther song. He gonna come out. He gonna sing Luther with SZA.
No, it's the song All Star is with SZA, and that was on the album. But he's also did Luther with SZA, and then he has 30 for 30.
Y'all back in the Chiefs' first Super Bowl. I'm talking about right now. They coming out with he might do Humble though. He might do Humble.
Yeah. Well, I think Humble is just that, but
Yeah.
I would like for him to come out with not like us, just to set the tone, but I doubt
Right.
if he will do it because us light skinned dudes is winning right now. So go ahead,
Right.
Drake.
He
No,
It,
might
hey,
not like
straight
us.
that out. I'm not a Drake fan. Stop.
He
Let me
doing
straight.
not like us. He just might not come out to it.
right. Since Trump gonna be there, maybe he can come out the black of the berry, sweet of the juice, and so we'll see
Hey,
what's up with that. All right, and then finally, what's gonna be the combined score of the game? Let's start with you, Cal.
Whew. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be. I'm gonna think it's gonna be pretty high scoring.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go over 50. Let me say 51. I'm gonna give it 51 points, like a 27-24 game. Say 51 points.
All right, I'm gonna put down that 27-21 and hold your prediction. Jay, combined score.
I have the Chiefs.
Yo, hold
Oh,
on.
all right.
Oh,
Combined.
that's all
Okay,
right.
my bad. My bad. No, I
That's
was
all
gonna
right.
give
We'll
it.
talk about it in a minute. But go
But
ahead. What's your
yeah,
combined score?
combined. I'm gonna say like 57.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
Hmm.
57.
Over 50. All right. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Jason, who
I'm with Jay. Over 57. I think it's going to be 58, 31, 27.
okay.
Your price is right at me.
Um, right.
One
Like,
dollar.
$1.
I'm trying to think
the over.
the AFC championship game, what was that?
And they
31-29.
put up points.
Yeah.
They put up points in that game. So yeah, I'll go over 50 as well. All right.
Now
Eh,
Chiefs was
watch the
necessary.
score be 69.
Right.
We
Right.
all wrong.
All right. So now we at the point that everybody loves who wins and why. So let's start off with the chairman, club level Cal. Who wins and why?
I have the Kansas City Chiefs winning, and I have them winning because I think Spags and Andy Reid have 2 weeks to start putting in something that we haven't seen from them, which is scoring from the beginning. I think they are going to score. I think they realize that they are going to have to outscore the Eagles. So instead of trying to concentrate on maintaining Saquon, which they will, I think they're going to be focused more on scoring. I think that Xavier has a big day. I see DeAndre Hopkins as being part of that. And watch out for a touchdown from Marlon Brown. What did we call him here? What do we call
You
him here?
mean Hollywood? You mean
Hollywood.
Hollywood?
Hollywood Brown, not Marlon.
Hollywood.
What do we
Hollywood,
call Hollywood? We didn't call him
Pennsylvania
Hollywood.
Avenue Brown,
Yeah, we
Stricker
called him
Street
something
Brown,
like that. Well,
All they
but
call me.
I got the
Stricker
Kansas
Street
City
Brown.
Chiefs. I got the Kansas City Chiefs airing it out and winning the game.
All
That's
right.
how they win. It's scoring from the beginning and with the passing game.
Jay, go ahead. We know you said Chiefs, but why?
Well, I want to change.
All right, go
Yeah.
ahead.
'Cause Philly got defense. I think Philly got that upfront defense, but I don't know. I'm gonna just go with Philly for the hell of it.
Okay.
Saquon. Why
Saquon.
not?
A lot of Saquon. All right, I feel you. Jason.
I'm simpatico with Cal, everything that Cal said. Just
Mhm.
to give y'all a backstory, 2 years ago, I was in the same predicament, having to pick between Philly and KC for a substantial amount of money. And
Mhm.
I was listening to our local radio station, and I think it was Kim. She came on and said, "Oh yeah, the defense is so good. We're gonna have a low scoring game. It's gonna be under 40." So in our pool, you had to pick the winner and in the under.
Yeah.
I mean, and the exact score. So I said, oh, 42. Man, you know them jokers came into a shootout and had over 60 something points. Wasn't it like 35,
Yeah,
30,
yeah, yeah. That was a
35,
high scoring
42?
game.
I said, man. So again this year, I was listening to local radio and said, oh man, it's gonna be defense. But so I'm back in the same situation. I got to choose between these two. So I am simpatical with Cal. I said the Chiefs 31-28 is going to be a good game, but the pedigree of Kansas City is just going to show because, like Cal said, man, Spags and Andy has 2 weeks, and I alluded to that earlier. 2 weeks to get ready for this. You're going to see some things from them that's not on tape, and when it comes down to coaching in big moments, I trust Spags, Andy, and Mahomes over Sirianni, Jalen, and Saquon, and who else. So that's why I give them the edge. 31-28. They will find a way to neutralize Carter and just go off. So yeah.
Okay. All right. I like that. You using big city college words there. Heard you sneaking in them SAT words and whatnot. I know y'all speak Latin over there. And so I will say
City forever.
yeah, city forever. You know, at
That's right.
Northwestern, we spoke jive. We did not speak Latin at Northwestern. But anyway, nonetheless, yeah, Chiefs. Andy Reid with a bye. Mahomes outside of that Tampa game, which was, they didn't really have an offensive line in that game. I mean, the tackles that were playing in that game for KC in that Super Bowl, and we were in COVID, so everything was strange that year. I think it was maybe only 100 fans in the stands because they had everybody. Remember, they had all the people spread out. They had poster boards up and all that stuff. So it was just a weird year. But Mahomes, he performs on the national stage in the biggest games. Kelsey, he performs on the national stage on the biggest games. I don't trust Jalen Hurts that much. And I think that's what's going to come down. Saquon's going to be able to run. They will be able to get their run on. But they're going to need Hurts to have a better game, kind of like the game he had in the Super Bowl the last time he was there. He had over 300 yards. I think he ran for 3 touchdowns, and he threw for 1, although he fumbled once, which was a mishap. It wasn't really egregious. And so, I think it's close, 38-20, 31-28, 31-29, one of those close games. But I think it just comes down to probably Mahomes making a play at the end, Kelsey making a play at the end, or them kicking the field goal.
All right. Hey, that seems to be it. Wait, hold on. I got a quick text from Katina. She said they not like anyway. You know what? Keep doing your thing, Lanier. Keep helping this man.
Right,
out.
Exactly.
Hey,
man, the crew, this was great.
Good job, crew.
Hey.
Y'all did a great job.
Get you here the next time to do it. Hey, we appreciate y'all help. This is live on YouTube right now. You can catch us on all the podcast platforms. But if you have Spotify, you can see all 4 of our beautiful faces. And also, the Orioles are coming back. You'll be able to see all of us in the stands. We have our little game package. I'm retiring my Ravens stuff after this for the season. Right. But hey, let me play this outro music.
Get your Santerre jerseys on sale.
Right. They did the Marshalls.
Right. You have been listening to the B.I.G. Show. Corbin Burns. The show was produced and written by Calvin Coates and Garland Thomas. All Black Productions.
Thank you.
Follow us on all of your podcast media platforms.
They say nothing crazy.
Hey, later, y'all.
All right, y'all. Have a great weekend.
Y'all have a good one.
All right.